So, Rick, was that an illegal hit or not?
Was that an illegal hit, Brian Boyle? I mean, when I first saw it, it looked like he's a big guy. I mean, he's a big physical guy. Hickey's a smaller guy. And I think when you look at the hit that Hickey had on Druin, one of the better hits I've seen in a long time, was it a retribution hit? I mean, his shoulder made contact first, and then his elbow came up and hit Hickey in the face and stunned him a bit, and it eventually led to that goal. But, I was more interested to see what was going to happen to Chris Letang, because you remember in that Rangers series, Letang was the one that hit Stahlberg in the face with his stick, and then he goes out of his way to make that hit against Johansson, and he only gets a game, whereas Brooks Orpik gets 3 games. So I don't know what's going on as far as discipline in the NHL is going right now.
I don't think the elbow ever got near his head.
No, the elbow hit him in the face, Donnie.
No.
Yes.
No, he followed through. The shoulder got him in the chest. The elbow was tucked in. I don't think the elbow ever got him in the face.
Just watch it. It's on Yes right now. The chicken wing got him right in the nose, man. He chicken winged him right in the nose.
So then how is it not a penalty?
I think it should have been a penalty. My bigger concern was the penalty they called on Cizikas in the first period. I mean, that changed the game. The Islanders had 17 shots in the first period. Brian Boyle skates into Cizikas' skate, falls down, and then 12 seconds left in that period, and Tampa scores. And all the momentum you had in that period, one of the better periods they played all series long, and it's gone.
Well, I just think that the burying the lead here is you can't blow that lead. They got to defend better in the final 40 seconds, and I'm a little confused on why John Tavares is out there with 40 seconds left in the game.
That's a great question, Donnie. I'm not necessarily the guy to ask. You know, John Tavares is your captain. He's your leader. He's a guy you count on to play both sides of the puck. If you watch the series closely, he's got caught a couple times, puck staring a little bit, and left guys open in the middle of the ice. And there's nothing Thomas Greiss could do there. I mean, as a goalie, you're at the mercy sometimes of your forwards and your defensemen. And, he came out, challenged, guy made a good shot. And whenever you're in a situation, I played in games like that, I mean, you go into the locker room, it's tough to recover. And if you get through the first 5 minutes of overtime, you usually are right. And, unfortunately for the Islanders, they couldn't do that.
All right, how did the Islanders bounce back from this? This is a very experienced team, a team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. This is kind of all new for the Islanders. Is this a body blow that they don't recover from?
No, you know what, Michael? This is a resilient team, and they've played well at home. It's a weird series. It really is. When I first looked at the series with the 2 games off in between games, I figured it favored the Islanders because their fourth line was banged up. They needed to get healthy, and you saw what their fourth line healthy is capable of doing. They did it last night. They're a tremendous line. But now, the more you look at it, I mean, it looks like Stroman could be back. I mean, Tampa's getting healthier here as the playoffs go on. Bishop still doesn't look great to me. I mean, Bishop made a couple of huge saves last night, don't get me wrong. But again, a Vezina finalist, letting in, virtually 4 goals every game. And, I think this is a bad matchup for him for some reason, but I think this team has enough leadership in that locker room with Leddy and Boychuk, both won Stanley Cups, that they'll find a way to bounce back in Game 4. They played a pretty good game.
Where do we stand with Halak right now?
I don't think Halak's going to be back for this series, and nor would I put him in a situation to play in this series. Greiss has been really good. Outside of that second goal he let up after a haircut, of all things. The haircut still drives me crazy. Because things have turned since the haircut. But outside of that goal, Donnie, I don't think there's one goal I can look at and say was his fault.